Hello one, hello all, it is the glossy-eyed ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh, and it's time for a review of Nas-Magic 2. Nas is a Queens rapper, legendary rapper, I should say, and this is the second installment to his Magic series, which the first one I believe was released in 2021, near the end of 2021, and honestly, I enjoyed it. I think it was good. I felt it was definitely better than Nasir. Definitely more highlights on there. But I do feel some tracks could have been fully baked. Some tracks came off half-baked, but still a pretty decent album. Definitely an appetizer for what we were going to get on King's Disease 3, which was an excellent release and definitely an excellent installment to the King's Disease trilogy. And if you haven't checked that out, please do. But with this one right here, I feel could have been better, and I will get into why. For one thing, the track Abracadabra, not the strongest start to the album. I honestly think this is pretty subpar when it comes to other intros Nas has had over the years. With a run-of-the-mill trap beat, not much in terms of a hook, not much in terms of structure. The song is pretty much all over the place and kind of just ends on a weak note. It pretty much just fizzles out. The song Office Hours, I think, has a decent verse from Nas. I think the production on here is solid for the most part, but it is absolutely derailed by this phoned in, stiff ass verse from 50 on here. Yes, 50 Cent. That just sounds so low effort, even by 50 standards. And truly and honestly, I've never been a huge 50 Cent fan. Never really been a fan, except for when I was in high school, but that was because, you know, you're absorbing the music that's brought to you, and I feel the appeal for 50 was mainly just the fact that Eminem and Dr. Dre were backing him. But once you get into the lyrics, once you get into the production and realize how of a one-trick pony 50 is, the appeal is pretty much gone. With this verse being a reminder to how mediocre he really was in the first place. And then Nas saying he might release his next album on G-Unit, which I hope is a joke. And then does this half-ass verse with these random Godfather references. It's not a good look for the family. In Black Magic, while I do enjoy the grainy Memphis sample from rapper Lil Grim, there are some interesting parallels and correlation to Black Magic on here, with correlating it to success from black culture, black art. But the production isn't really as exciting as I would want it to be. It's not as enchanting, or it's not as dark as it should be for a song called Black Magic. And it just kind of sounds like a Travis Scott ripoff, if I'm being honest. And while the correlations are interesting, it's really just a bunch of bar filler on here, and I kind of feel the same way for Magic Irving Johnson, and with the fact that that song barely has anything to do with him. And we get another tacked on imitation of this guy who sounds like he's like a vintage black and white character from one of those detective movies. Walking skyscrapers. And the song Motion probably has to have one of the weakest hooks on here. We have it motion. It's all over like when the show end. Yeah. This is the guy who made Illmatic, right? And then he has this really weird bar about bringing back beheadings. They're still here. I mean, which is definitely a shame because I do dig the Balkan style production on here. I do think Bokeem Woodbine is definitely a highlight on here, about how Nas prevailing is harrowing to his antagonists, and how he has like this masochistic response to pain that life gives him. And the strummed guitar samples I think are dope, kind of like something out of a Quentin Tarantino film, with like this bold reggae sample and moaned harrowing melodies from a reggae track, with clever similes to pain, and a solid hook, and standout bars. Knife in my back, I wear the wounds. Like razor blade with lemon juice. I know it hurts in how I move. I would say thematically we get another tight track on here, which is Pistols on Your album cover. with these sweet organ licks, nice boom bap beat that really complements the theme of the track, which references classics such as BDP, Criminal Minded, saying how this is the hardest thing since Pistols on your album cover, which is basically paying homage to the classics before him, the legends, the one who influenced him, and sharing introspections and also reflecting on others who have had missed opportunities due to gang violence, due to gun violence, or getting into other types of drama, and having the shot be from the camera parallel to the gun. And I love the jazzy bright horns at the end and the semi-grim switch up we have here where the beat slows down on the back end. And the track, what this all really means, is another highlight to me. Uplifting production with elegant exuberant strings, super warm bass, spiraling string samples, and fiery guitar sample at the end. In a way, it kind of reminds me of something Kanye would have produced back in the early 2000s. Where, again, Nas is sharing his introspection, which he normally does, on the memories, the ups and downs, the grinds of his career, putting together all the triumphs and all the missteps in the form of finding meaning. And honestly, I feel like this is the best song on the record. Slow It Down, though, probably has one of the weakest beats on here. The drum sounds way out of whack, and it definitely sounds like Nas is phoning it in once again lyrically on the back end. So yeah, overall, I can't really say I'm digging this album. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not bad either. I'm just finding myself in between. It's very possible that this is just a holdover. This is just an appetizer until we get the main course, which could be Magic 3, which could be King's Disease 4, but I don't know if there's going to be a 4 due to the fact that that was a trilogy. So who knows? Who knows on that one? But yeah, I feel Nas has definitely put out better work. Definitely better than Nasir, but yeah, I'm just finding myself getting a little bit of enjoyment of this, but not that much. He's definitely put out better. So I'm feeling a 3 out of 5 on this. Yeah. 3 out of 5. But that's just what I think. If you've given this a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And, yeah. Caspa, Gothic Ghost, Nas, Magic 2, till we meet again.